السلام عليكم. اتفضلوا استريحوا. اتفضلوا اتفضلوا.
السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس جمهورية مصر العربية، السيدات والسادة، الحضور الكريم، نرحب بحضراتكم في اسكندرية، عروس البحر المتوسط، مدينة التاريخ والحضارة والمجد، عروس الماء وجميلة الحكماء كما وصفها الشعراء. اسكندرية التاريخ والدليل لكل من يبحث عن الفن والثقافة والجمال. اسكندرية هي متحف حضارات مفتوح، مرسى ثقافة شعوب البحر المتوسط، أثر ساهم في تشكيل مختلف شعوب العالم، لأن هنا على أرض اسكندرية وجد الجميع المحبة والدفء والسلام والقبول. صنعوا منها مزيجاً فريداً من الحضارة والفكر والعلم والقدرة على
cultural science and ability to dream. Today our happiness is great and double because we are in a historic city, and because we are having a renewable conversation between president and youth. So since the beginning, the first launch of the first youth forum, it has been a platform for youth to exchange views and suggestions, and it was derived from these views a reality. And because of every step and every dream, we'd like to see Egypt in a better. This country has a special magic, strange magic between the past and between the capabilities of a future, of having future of good wealth to this country and its people.
اسكندرية حكاية حلوة من حكايات الدنيا، فضلت لسنين طويلة عايشة على تاريخها من غير أي تطوير، لكن الجمهورية الجديدة كانت مدركة إن التاريخ وحده مش كفاية، لازم كمان الحاضر والمستقبل يكملوه. فأطلقت القيادة السياسية استراتيجية شاملة لتنمية وتطوير عروس البحر المتوسط، وكان شباب اسكندرية جزء أساسي في وضعها.
لما مصر اتغيرت لقينا بلادنا بتدعمنا وبتقول لنا يلا احلموا احلموا على قد ما تقدروا.
مفيش بكره من غير تطوير، مفيش تطوير من غير شباب.
تحس كده ان اسكندريه بتولد من جديد.
احنا هنا حلمنا ان اسكندريه تتطور وشاركنا ان الحلم ده يبقى حقيقي. مصر بقت قويه والمصريين دايما قادرين على كل تحدي.
Alexandria is strong and it's beautiful now. The roads are now widened. There is no crowd, not in winter or in summer. This is the first, this is very pleasant moment for me to go to the sea and without anyone holding me. So the road network is one of the top of developing Alexandria projects. Under the directives of Alexandria, we have the Mahmoudiyya access to be the largest national project witnessed in years. So I used to take 45 minutes or 1 hour, but now I just take about 15 or 20 minutes and as a taxi driver. And also it saved effort, money, gas, and I can take 1 or 2 or 3 rides instead of one. The projects that were made on the Mahmoudiyya axis provided job opportunities, and also the establishment of sidewalk by the
بجمال
sea
البحر
that provides
مجاناً بدون أي
the
تكلفة.
visitor
صراحة
a
اسكندرية بقت أحلى
free
بكتير
sea
بعد
site.
تطوير المنطقة.
الطرق اللي اتطورت سهلت وصول
The
الخير
developed
لحلقة السمك اللي هي
roads
كمان اتوضع لها خطة شاملة
make it easily
لتطويرها. هي الأولى
for
خلال عمر
visitors
حلقة السمك
to reach
الممتد
the Samak
لحوالي
Ring
200 سنة.
restaurant that has been there for 200 years. It's the oldest ring. You can buy and eat the most delicious fish. When we were told that Trader has a share of the new development, upgrading will maintaining the historical and visual capacity of the country, of the city.
للقضاء على الأسواق العشوائية. كمان الدولة
Also, the country didn't forget the field sellers that established for them a center appropriate for them, who are from the original sellers in the field, in the square, for 30 years. Thanks God, we are pleased with the center, and it is a very good place. And we used to sell on the street, but now it's been better. When I used to buy, the paths were very narrow. Now things are organized and wide. It's way better than the other center. Now I can buy my fruit, my fish, my vegetables here. And we are from the Qahliya governorate. We moved into a better place, into a better system. Now we were suffering from gangs. Everything is organized. The cleaning is everywhere. People are treating us very, not only markets, distinguished markets, haphazardly markets were only developed, but also the housing complexes were developed. This area includes all services, trade, market, bank, mosque, hospital, a vocational center for children that they prepare or plan visits, trips for it. We came here to Bashaira. My children grew here and they play safely in the street. And now I send them to houses to recite, to memorize Holy Quran. We invested as well in Tahya Masr Long Live Station for trade and logistics by port to ship $15 billion goods yearly, and I'm now a part of this project. I had a opportunity to travel abroad, but when I got this opportunity, I didn't think twice. I was looking for a job. I was sitting with one of my friends who told me that Alexandria Port has a new container station. So I took the website and I applied and I got accepted. Thanks God. I applied through post and I wasn't able, I didn't think that I would be accepted because it's another different major, and things that I got accepted. I submitted my CV in different places and I got accepted here, and I wish to be of value to this place. I had several tests and I traveled to Lebanon. And when I first came here, I was selling things on pavement and I found a job here. I'm very proud to be a part of MNT that was able to provide job opportunities for many The vision of Egypt is focused on showing the beauty of Alexandria and putting on tourism planning. that's why Sisi launched the project of developing royal parks that regained its glory after years of neglect. We didn't have road before. They told us that we couldn't dream. I discovered that we were very strong and we could transfer a dream into reality. We can dream, think, and participate.
كلها بتتولد من جديد. نورت اسكندريه يا ريس على راسي. اسمح لي ارحب بحضرتك وبالسيدات والساده الحضور الكرام. بدايه كده خليني احكي قصه قصيره سعيده متكرره حصلت مع ناس كتير وانا واحد منهم. انا دفعه 2002 اتخرجت من الكليه، احلامي بدأ من بعد السما، بس للأسف اصطدمت بأرض الواقع ودبيت أغراضي وسافرت. قعدت أكتر من 12 سنة ماليش مكان في بلدي، ورجعت وحضرت أحداث 2011 وثورة التصحيح 2013 ودخلت عليا 2014. الدنيا كانت ضلمة الدنيا كانت ضلمة فعلا، بس قلت مش هيأس وهخبط كل البيبان وأي باب حتى لو طاقة صغيرة، وخبطت أول باب قبل بدون أي مفتاح من غير علاقات يعني سكة straightforward.
So I got shocked, I got surprised and looked to my colleagues that were complaining about like me. I was surprised that all the doors were open without any keys. So I said that I would work and achieve more dreams than I had before, and I gathered with those who have like me to have a platform in order to address not only Egyptian youth but across the Arabic region. And I discovered that changing infrastructure, not only institutions or buildings, but the change was in people's infrastructure from the inside. That's why we are here today. We reached here today. And in regards to grant and development and institution programs, the institutions or the constructions not of the coherency of the country, which is a miracle. If we looked across the Arabic countries, we wished for them recovery from what they are going through. Hopefully, of course, we fulfilled this great achievement. This is not the miracle or economic benefits or peaceful or security or economic, and we can let etc. And we can let it go on. In a time all the world are wishing for just stability, we are building and developing. I am pleased to be in front of you, Mr. President. Every day a dream is coming true. We have been going step, reforming, reclaiming the country, a republic focus on work as a result of national political will, wasting time and announcing new achievements added to great other achievements. To know more what has been achieved more in Alexandria, we invite the Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس الجمهورية، السيدات والسادة الحضور، شرف لي أن أقف أمامكم اليوم على هامش هذه الزيارة الهامة اللي بشرفنا بها فخامة الرئيس على مدار يومين
of presidency for 2 years to inaugurate and check a number of national projects in Alexandria and Bahrain. And this is among one of the tours and visits by Mr. President across Egypt to follow up with the amount of fulfillment and achievement on the ground. And the goal of all of these national projects is the quality, life quality of Egyptians. Because we are all working towards this, because Egyptian citizen has the right to have a better living standard, clean and healthy environment, help him to work and produce. This is a word said by President in 2015, and that's what we've been working on for the past 8 years across Egypt. And maybe you are in Alexandria, and allow me today to talk about Alexandria and Bahrain. As President was checking the projects today and tomorrow, every governorate has, all of the other governorates has obstacles hindering development and resulting in unsatisfaction of citizens and burdened with the great amount of jobs. I'll talk about Alexandria first. Its problem, and it still has some of it, is the high intensive population, because it was very, Alexandria was very tight and it didn't have space to extend. So the intensity of population was great. Alexandria, with a great population, needs about 100,000 job opportunities to be created next period, but the problem, because it is tight, so about 47% of Alexandrian residents were living unplanned areas, resulted in having an appearance of a housing complex that doesn't allow us to extend. So instead of having the city not sufficient for some of the villas or buildings now, it is like in the photos, maybe the only appearance or the only project for that is Burj Al Arab city for that, as it in 2015 lacked services that urge citizens to move, and also to have enough accesses to move between Alexandria to Burj Al Arab. And this is one of the problems that pushed citizens away from that. So that's why Alexandria suffered from illegal building and the pressure of using sewage networks, because these networks are designed to be sufficient for a certain amount, but that number was doubled, or maybe it was increased 3 or 4 times. We have also the pollution of Mariut Lake and the land water increased rates. In Bahrain, it wasn't that different. We had unsafe areas across the country, the higher sea rates in coral areas, the great deficiency of social services available. When the state worked in the planned planning, we had a strategic plan until 2030. It was in Bahrain as well. We had a strategic for Alexandria and Bahrain strategic planning. We worked on them, and all the projects you see is based on a plan by the state. But the most important is commitment and real desire to implement it, and constant follow-up by leadership for government and for all state institutions to be implemented as quickly as possible and with highest quality. and as quickly as possible to compensate about 30 or 40 or 50 years of neglect for these services because of the circumstances that Egypt was going through. So we need to compensate and go through this crisis. We have to work with unprecedented rates. All of our implementation and planning are concerned with three axes: humanitarian development, economic, and spatial development. And it was considered that this place or this area, that because it is tangible, like accesses and roadmaps and housing, so Egypt, all investments were in the human itself, themselves, and the services they are used to lack. But in total of investments of both cities from the middle of 2014 until last month, it overpassed 12 trillion dollars. 12 trillion pounds. We have investment of more than 140 billion pounds. That's the difference between 2014 and 2015. In Alexandria, it increased about 21%, and Bahrain about 18.5%. The great leap was in vocational education or technical education. We increased about 75% in Alexandria and 51% in Bahrain, because we know the importance of this education that serves the industry and work sectors, as these two countries are agriculture and industrial castles. Most importantly is to provide a certain level of schools that was just available in international or Egyptian and Japanese schools, especially, of course, the two countries. And of course, we had a great development of educational buildings that were suffering from neglect, and we had a qualitative leap of it. There's a great leap as well during the last 8 years. When we look to these countries, more than 40 billion Egyptian pounds invested in developing Damanhur and Alexandria University, with the new buildings, of course, in the new Cairo, new Egyptian and Japanese University, the technological university, and Samgur University, and other teaching hospitals that were implemented by state. Burj Al Arab Technological University, where President Sisi was inaugurated. But they also inaugurated the Egyptian-Japanese University, that is considered an integrated city, but just not attracting Egyptians, but all commerce from neighborhood countries. And at the level of Damanhur city, there was a comprehensive development for this investment for this university of more than 1.6 billion Egyptian pounds of building new faculties and incorporating new technologies, and Samanhur University in Burj Al Arab area that was about to be finished. And in order to have an attractive area in Burj Al Arab, it is now an educational center across the world. We have the technological, the Japanese, and the teaching city. We had a momentum of universities and educational centers that has made it very attractive. The model now we have in Addis on around 450 million faddans. That is some of the faculties that were spread, that were scattered, are moved to, and it is supposed to, it's due to be completed next year. The state invested 5.5 million billion Egyptian pounds, different than within Hayat Karima.
في البحيرة 110%.
and if we saw the health services in the last 8 years, we have great numbers, and that was reflected in the total of expenditures at treatment at state expense from to reach 600
الدولة المصرية هي اللي
rates,
بتقدمها
and
للمواطنين عشان
these
نؤكد إنها مش
services
فقط
are
عملية
provided
الإنشاءات
to
والبناء، بالعكس
state,
التركيز على
but
الإنسان
also
والبني آدم
we
المصري.
through this we
والنهاردة إن
want
شاء
to
الله
make sure that
بنفتتح
we
بالفيديو
focus
كونفرنس
on
عديد من الصروح ومنها
human
مستشفى كور حمادة
development.
المركزي
We
في
are
البحيرة
developing through
واللي
video
بتكلفة أكتر من
conference a
770
hospital
مليون
in
جنيه.
Bahira that
لكن عندنا
of
نماذج
more
أخرى
than
تم
77
تطويرها
million
مستشفى رشيد العام،
pounds. We
المعهد
has also
الطبي
developed
بدمنهور، المستشفى
the medical
العسكري.
institute, the military
اسكندرية فيها العديد من
hospital. Alexander
المستشفيات اللي تم رفع
include
كفاءتها وتطويرها
many
وإنشاء
centers
جديد
that were
ليها.
upgraded
ده كل
and
ده
have
بخلاف حياة كريمة.
new developments.
في مجال الحماية
All of this other
الاجتماعية
than حياة كريمة and
33
social
مليار جنيه الدولة المصرية أنفقتها
33
لخدمة
billion
المواطن
pounds
المصري.
were
برنامج
spent
تكافل
on
وكرامة
serving
14.5 مليار
citizens.
جنيه
تكافل
لوحده،
وكرامة
1.6
project
من 10
$14
مليون
million
مستفيد،
for
منهم بالإضافة ل 91 ألف
1.6
مستفيد من ذوي
million
الهمم. ده بالإضافة لقروض
thousand
ميسرة اتعملت
beneficiaries,
أو قروض نقدر نقول
and also we
عليها
have
يعني من غير
loans
فوائد خالص، لكن
with
نبص
zero
الحجم
interest,
اللي بقوا
but we can
بيستفيدوا
say
النهارده من
the
برنامج
amount
تكافل
of
وكرامة في المحافظتين
people
قفز
benefiting
بنسب
from تكافل
في
وكرامة
اسكندرية
leaped
4 أضعاف
to
وفي
4
البحيرة حوالي
times
6
in
أضعاف
Alexandria and
النهارده
6
عشان
times in
الدولة
Bahira.
توصل
And now
للمستحقين
if
في
we'd
هذه
like
الخدمات.
to access
لكنها
that,
كمان
this is how
أحد
we
أهم المشروعات
access
اللي الدولة المصرية
the most in need in
توسعت
this.
فيها،
The
ولولا هذه
state
المشروعات كنا هنبقى ربنا يحفظ
without
العالم،
these
كنا هنواجه أزمة عاملة إزاي
projects
في
we
موضوع
were
الأمن
had
الغذائي،
faced
هو كان
great
مضاعف البطاقة التخزينية للصوامع.
crisis,
والبحيرة
which is
واسكندرية كان ليهم نصيب
increasing
كبير
the
إن تزود فيهم فقط سعة
warehouses
تخزينية 390 ألف طن.
extended.
يعني هو كان كل اللي موجود فيهم 250 ألف، النهارده
We
بقينا
had
640 ألف.
250,000,
سيادة الرئيس النهارده صباحا
but
واحنا
it
بنتفقد
increased
الأبعدية،
today when we
كنا
were
بنتكلم
taking
إن
Abadia.
وصلنا
We talked
النهارده
about
إلى
we
مستوى إن إحنا جمعنا أكتر من
reached
3.5
about
مليون طن
gathering
قمح
3.3
من الفلاحين
million
المصريين.
weight crop
لو ما
from
كانتش الصوامع دي
from
موجودة
farmers.
كان
If we
هيبقى
didn't have
تخزينهم
these
النمط
warehouses,
العادي كان فيما
the
يطلق عليه
storing
الشون
them, we
والأماكن
have the
المكشوفة. عشان حضراتكم نبقى عارفين نسبة
uncovered
الفاقد كان من
places.
الشون
The
دي
loss of
بيصل إلى ما بين
uncovered
25 ل 30%
areas
على الأقل.
reached
يعني
30
كنا
to
نجمع
25 to
3.5
30%.
مليون نفقد
We
منهم
used to gather 3.3 million,
800 ألف
then we
طن
lose
عشان فقط ما عندناش أماكن
8,000
تخزين. أنا بوري قد إيه حجم
800,000
التحدي اللي كان موجود في هذه الدولة
ton
المصرية،
because
ولولا
we
هذه
don't
المشروعات
have a
اللي هي
capacity of storing.
قدرت الدولة النهارده إنها لما بتخزن
So
تقدر إنها تلم كل
today
طن
we
الحمد
proved
لله
that
ما بيضيعش
when
ولا
we
يعني يهدر
that we are able
في
to
الدولة
store every
وبيستخدم على طول
ton
لصالح
without
المواطن
wasting
المصري.
it that
دي
used
كلها
to serve
نماذج
citizens.
لهذه
These
الصور
are
للخدمات
models for
التموينية اللي
the
قدمتها الدولة
warehouses,
المصرية ومنافذ
the
عشان تخدم
outlets
محدودي
to
الدخل،
help
ومشروعات السيارات
limited
المتنقلة أيضا اللي بتصل في كل
limited
مكان
income families
للقرى
and
وأطراف القرى
mobilize
عشان تقدم الخدمات للمواطن المصري. على
mobilized
مستوى تحسين مستوى
projects
المعيشة
to
كان
access all
تركيزنا على خلق فرص عمل،
families.
ودي
We
أهم حاجة النهارده المواطن والشاب المصري
focused
بيحتاجها.
on
في مجال التنمية
increasing
الصناعية
life
الدولة استثمرت 14 مليار
standards.
جنيه
We
في
invested
العديد
about
من المنشآت
$14 million
الجديدة
in different
والمجمعات الصناعية على مستوى
industrial
سواء اسكندرية
complexes,
أو البحيرة، وده انعكس في
whether
عدد
Alexandria or
المنشآت
Bahira
الصناعية
and
المسجلة
Bahira,
أو حتى العمالة
and
المسجلة بصورة
this
رسمية
reflected
في
in the
المحافظتين.
highest number of
ويمكن
registered
من أهم
employees in
المشروعات
both countries,
اللي النهارده بقت
both
موجودة
cities. The
مجمعات
most
مرغم
important project
1
is
و2
Mirgham
اللي
Complex
موجودة
1
النهارده
and
في
2 in
اسكندرية اللي
Alexandria
وفرت
that
آلاف من
provided
فرص العمل.
thousands of job
لكن
opportunities,
أيضا
created
موجودة
thousands
في
of
حوش
job
عيسى في
opportunities, and also in
البحيرة
Hosh
مجمع
Isa
صناعي
they're
نسبي
in
بتكلفة تجاوزت 1.4
spinning
مليار جنيه،
complex of
864 وحدة صناعية موجودة.
of
ولكن أيضا ويمكن دي كانت نقطة أثيرت النهارده صباحا،
units,
الدولة ما تركتش
industrial units. State
المصانع
didn't leave
العتيقة اللي
factories,
موجودة
historic
العريقة اللي كانت من زمان، إنما
factories,
احنا هناك
but
دراسات جدوى
there
واقعية
are studies.
بتخلينا نختار ايه المصانع
Let
اللي
us
فعلا تصلح
choose
للتطوير، والدولة في الحالة
factories
دي
that need to
بتصرف
be developed.
المليارات
That's
على
why we
تطويرها،
spend
وايه المصانع اللي احنا عارفين
billions to
كويس قوي
develop,
انها
and these
اصبح لها
are
جدوى من تطويرها.
all some factories
الموضوع مش
that
عاطفة، انما
developing them
موضوع
in vain. It's
حسابات
not
ودراسات مدققة بتقول
compassion, but
لنا
there
ايه
are
اللي
some
احنا نسعى
statistics, accurate
لتطويره
statistics to
وتجديده
know
ورفع
what we need to
والتوسع فيه،
upgrade
وايه اللي اصبح النهارده
and
فيه
what
غير ذا جدوى في عملية التطوير.
is in
ده
vain
نموذج
in
للمشروعات اللي
developing. These
الدولة
are the
النهارده
models
المصرية
that
بتطورها
we are developing with 6.5 million pounds. And also in Egypt, we have the logistic centers, and we are moving strongly. And you have the trade logistic centers in the Manhoor as a model of how to move, of how we move in this regard. The small and micro, small projects. This is our hope in entrepreneurship. Egypt, in these two cities, we provided the loans of 4 billion pounds to create about 61,000 job opportunities. Although Alexandria is a coastal, a civilized city, but Buhaira is the largest agricultural city. The amount of agricultural investment crossed 84 billion pounds. The most important project is the new Delta project, which is more than 2.2 million fadans. Most of it in Buhaira, but the largest of water. Watering this area is from Alexandria by irrigation sewage that was thrown in Manzala Lake and thrown in Max. And President Sisi was saying in the morning, we have an architecture project to transform the water that we used to be thrown by great lifting stations to plant more than 2 million fadans. 2 million fadans. If we are saying 3 million tons for weight, all of them will produce about more than 6 million tons in the future. So it's one of the biggest projects of Egypt's history, great amounts of projects in canals and how we route them with agricultural or desert lands. Some of them lines were buried, as you say, the pumps or the lines, about 8 or 10 grand pipes set together to transfer water. And this is a river on its own to transfer water from the old areas of water. So the water station is about to finish, but the largest water station is irrigation treating water of hammam of 7.5 capacity. It's serving the area. And we also developed Rashid Canal, which is the greatest project in Rosetta area, and also the animal production complexes. We implemented about more than 6 animal complexes, and we have 2 dairy complexes of 300,000 animal producing lots of tons in a day. And there is a direct of extending this in All Haya decent life centers to expand dairy products because it benefits our farmers. In tourism development, touristic development, we were spent on museums and landscape sites in Buhaira, more than 6.7 million pounds. These projects to upgrade very neglected museums and also the Greece museums that was about to finish this month, but under the directives of President Sisi, we will also develop the surrounded area. In 3 months, we will complete that. But in Rosetta, the historic city, we are developing completely the area and reconstruction Haqqaniya Palace, and also the river side, the port, and also what you see in the video, the Misr station building and mosques here in Alexandria, and also parks, Muntaza parks that were completed and we inaugurated very soon.
سيادة الرئيس ده كان
And
مبنى
also
تاريخي فعلا
Samak
بقاله
ring.
يعني
This
زمن
was
كبير
a
جدا،
historic
وكان وصل إلى مرحلة من
building, and it
الإهمال،
reached
والمبنى نفسه كان أصبح
a
هائل
level of
السقوط.
neglect that
الحمد
was
لله
about
دلوقتي الدولة
to
بصدد
collapse,
إنهاء
and
ترميمه
now we're about to
وتطويره
reconstruct and
بطريقة
develop
على
it
أحدث النظم عشان يخدم أهالي اسكندرية في هذا
modernly to
الشأن،
serve
مسار العائلة
Alexandria
المقدسة بوادي
people
النطرون. في مجال رفع كفاءة
in
العمران، الحقيقة
upgrading
اسكندرية زيها زي
housing
كل محافظات مصر
quality as
والبحيرة تم
other
تنفيذ فيهم
cities. In
عشرات
both
الألوف من
cities
الوحدات
we
السكنية. عندنا
implemented
132
tens
ألف
of
وحدة
thousand
تم
units,
تنفيذهم
housing units
ب 73 مليار، ولكن
with
المشروع الأهم
73 billion
الخاص بتطوير المناطق
pounds.
الغير آمنة في
But
مدينة
the
اسكندرية،
upgrading
وكلنا
unsafe
نتذكر
areas in
مناظر زي
Alexandria,
منطقة
you
كانت غيط العنب واللي
remember
تحولت الحقيقة
غيط
لبشاير
العنب
الخير
that turned
بتنفيذ
to Bashar
حوالي
al-Khair by
وتطوير
implementing and
عشرات الآلاف
developing
من الوحدات.
tens of thousands
84
of
ألف وحدة
units,
بيتم تنفيذهم عشان كل المناطق الغير
84,000
آمنة
units
النهاردة،
to
وحتى المناطق
transfer
الغير
the
مخططة
unsafe,
ابتدينا
even the
النهاردة
unplanned
بنستوعبها في هذا
areas. We
المشروع.
were about
في رشيد وفي البحيرة منطقة
consider them.
الكسارة
In
كانت
Rashid
واحدة
and
من
in
النماذج
Bahira,
اللي
the
موجودة
Kasara
للدولة انتهت
area
منها.
was
منطقة
one of the
طرمبات الماكس،
completed
ودي كانت
areas.
برضو أحد
Max
المناطق الغير
area
آمنة
as
اللي
well was
الدولة
one of the
المصرية نجحت
unsafe
في
areas
إزالتها
that
وبناء
Egypt
مكان
was
بديل.
successful
الإسكان
in removing
الاجتماعي
and
اللي بقى
replaced
موجود في
the
كل حتة في
housing
مصر
complex that
وبننفذه
was
النهاردة عليه
available
إقبال كبير
across
جدا
Egypt, and
من
it has
شباب
and
مصر، ولكن
people
أيضا تطوير
and youth
العمران القائم،
are
وكان
really
بيشمل
want to
تطوير
go there.
الميادين والشوارع وكل الأماكن
Developing
والاهتمام
roads,
بالمناطق
squares, and
الخضراء
and
والمناطق المفتوحة
caring of
علشان يبقى موجودة
open
في
and
كل
green
مصر.
areas to be
الحقيقة
available
في
across
مشكلة
Egypt. Of
كبيرة
course,
جدا في اسكندرية،
actually, there is a
وكان هناك
great
توجيه
problem
إن
in
لازم إن
Alexandria. There
احنا
was a
نتعامل معها،
directive
نتيجة
to
طبعا
deal with
لقدم العديد من العقارات في اسكندرية، وأيضا
because of
البناء
many
للأسف العشوائي
old
اللي تم في
properties and
الفترة اللي كان فيها
haphazard
اضطرابات وعدم وجود للدولة.
development
كان
in
بقى
the
أصبحت هناك
area
عندنا
of
مشكلة كبيرة في إن
distress.
عدد من هذه
In
المباني
the
ممكن
reign of
إنها
distress, we
تكون
had
فيها خطر.
many
وعشان كده النهارده
dangerous
في لجنة على
buildings. That's
أعلى
why we
مستوى
have
شغالة
a
من
high
كل جهات الدولة
commission working
بتحصر
by all
بصورة دقيقة جدا
authorities,
هذه المباني عشان تضع ليها حلول عاجلة عشان
mobilizing
نتعامل مع هذه
or
الأزمة،
observing
ولازم
these
نشوف إيه اللي
buildings
هتبقى
to
البدائل
deal
ليها،
with
سواء
them,
كان هناك فرصة
to deal
لتدعيم
with this
بعض هذه
crisis in
المباني أو
order
يبقى في
to know
توفير
whether to
لسكن
develop
بديل
some of
لهذه
the
المباني.
buildings or to replace them.
لكن أيضا ودي
And
كانت المشكلة
also,
إن لا
which is the
يوجد
problem, there is
مشروعات
no
بديلة أو مشروعات
replacing
توسع تقول
alternative
للشاب السكن في
projects or
الإسكندري تروح
expanded
فين. ويمكن عشان كده
to
الحقيقة الدولة
direct the
المصرية
Alexandrian where to
بتنفذ
go,
النهاردة
where to go.
مشروعات
That's why
عملاقة،
we
منهم
implement
طبعا مشروع
grand
مدينة
projects
مشارف
by
بالعمرية
which
بحوالي 80
including
ألف وحدة إسكان
Masharif
بمختلف
city
المستويات،
with
عشان
many
كل
units
مستويات
at
الأسر
all levels
الإسكندرانية تقدر النهاردة
in
إنها
order
تكون
for
موجودة في
Alexandria
مجتمع
families to
متكامل
move
فيه
in
كل
an
الخدمات.
integrated
عندنا
city with all
نماذج أخرى
services. We
زي
have other models
مشروع مدينة
as
ضاحية راية ب 23 ألف وحدة.
suburb
عندنا
Raya
مشروع
with
صواري برضو بعدد
23,000
كبير بيخدم
units.
ده، ممكن يكون مستوى أعلى. عندنا النهارده بقت بدائل
as
الدولة
well, and
بتعملها
the alternatives
عشان
we
بدل
have
ما كان
today,
الناس بتلجأ لهدم الفلل
instead of
وتبني عمارات، بقى عندنا النهارده
instead of
البديل اللي احنا بنحاول النهارده
ruining
نتوجه بصورة
villa
أكبر
and
نحو
having
غرب
other
اسكندرية
buildings. Now we are
علشان يبقى هو
moving
ده
to
البديل
West
لتوسع مدينة
Alexandria to
اسكندرية.
be an
مدينة رشيد
alternative for
الجديدة
expanding
ودي
Alexandria.
أحد مدن
New
الجيل
Rosetta
الرابع اللي
cities,
الدولة
one of the
المصرية
further
بدأت
generation
بالفعل
is that
تنفيذها،
we
وقدام
started to
حضراتكم
implement.
بدء بقورة النماذج
And
اللي
we have
بدأت
the beginning
تتنفذ
of
من
the
هذا
units that
المشروع
started to be
العملاق،
implemented in this
وأيضا
grand,
منهم
from this
مشروع
grand
بشاير
project.
الخير
One of them
4
is
اللي
Bashar
بيتعمل
al-Khair
في
Project
مدينة
4
رشيد
that is
الجديدة. آلاف من
established
الوحدات
in New
السكنية
Rosetta.
للشباب المصري في
Thousands of
المحافظتين علشان
units
يقدروا
were
النهارده يجدوا
built,
أماكن بدل من هو كان
housing
بيلجأ
units for
زمان
youth,
للمناطق العشوائية. البنية التحتية
instead of
والمرافق
them
26 مليار
resorting to
جنيه
old
على المحافظتين في مياه
to
الشرب،
haphazard places.
ودي يمكن كانت الخدمة دي موجودة
In
بالكامل، لكن تم
water,
تحسين
drinking
نوعيتها
water,
وتغطية
we
حتى المناطق اللي
we
كان
upgrading
بنقدر نقول
it
عليها
and
الغير
even
مخططة،
covered
اللي
the
كانت بتعاني
unplanned
من
areas that
هذه
were
نقص
suffering from
الخدمة،
the lack
بقت
of
النهارده
this
بنوصل لها.
service. Now we have
لكن
access,
الطفرة
we
اللي
have
احنا
access to,
بنشتغل
but
عليها هو
the
الصرف
least
الصحي.
we're
وزي ما
working on
حضراتكم شايفين
is
البحيرة
sewage.
كانت قبل يعني في
Bahira
عام
before
2014
in
نسبة التغطية
2014 the
28%،
coverage was
النهارده بقت
28, now
40%،
it's
وإن شاء الله
40%.
مع
And
اكتمال
hopefully
مبادرة حياة
by
كريمة
completing Haya
هنوصل ل
Karima
100% تغطية
initiative,
للصرف
we
الصحي.
will cover
المشروعات اللي
100%
بتتعمل
of sewage
مشروعات
network. The
عملاقة
projects are grand
لمعالجة مياه
to
الصرف
treat
الصحي،
sewage,
منطقة التنقية
water,
الشرقية
and
ومشروع اللي مكمل ليها لإنتاج البيوجاز عشان يبقى بيولد طاقة تخدم هذه المحطة العملاقة. محطة البريجات، كل دي نماذج لمشروعات الدولة المصرية على مدار ال8 سنين دول عملتها. اسكندرية نتيجة للتغيرات المناخية
Alexandria during
كانت بتعاني على
due
مدار
to
الثلاث
weather
أربع سنين اللي
change
فاتوا من موضوع
suffered
الأمطار
3 or 4
والاتهامات
past
إن
years of
الدولة
rain
يعني هل
and
المنظومة
accusations
وشبكات
that the
المطر دي
system
مسدودة
and
ولا إيه اللي حصل؟
and rain
ولازم إن
networks
إحنا
are they
نعرف كلنا
clogged or
ونؤكد
what
لأن ده
happened.
إحنا قلنا قبل
Let's
كده وبرضه نأكد
sure
عليه.
and
المشكلة
that
إن
we said
مدينة
that before
اسكندرية
that
تاريخيا كان
Alexandria
في شبكة صرف
historically there
أمطار
was
معزولة عن
rain
الصرف الصحي.
network
ولكن في فترة زمنية معينة يمكن من
irrigating,
حوالي
but it was
نقدر نقول
separate.
30
But
سنة
during the last
تم
30
إلغاء
years
هذه
it was
الشبكة وربطها بالصرف الصحي.
cancelled and connected to sewage.
لكن المشكلة في هذه المرحلة
But
مع
the problem in
التغيرات
this
المناخية
phase
إن
with
بقى
the
حجم
weather
مياه
change, the
الأمطار اللي
amount
بينزل
of
لوحده
rain
أضعاف
only
قدرات شبكة الصرف
doubling
الصحي اللي موجودة.
the
وده
capacity
اللي دعا
of
يعني سيادة الرئيس
available
إنه يكلف
sewage
الحكومة إنها
network.
نبدأ
That's
فورا
why
بإنشاء
President Sisi
محطة مياه
directed
صرف مياه
the
أمطار
government to have
لإسكندرية
a
منفصلة
dispensing
بالكامل عن الصرف الصحي.
rain
بدأنا فعلا من العام
network
الماضي النهارده مع المرحله اللي
separate from the
نفذناها واللي
sewage.
بتتنفذ السنه دي
So the
وهتخلص
phase we
قبل بدء
implemented and
موسم
will be
الامطار
implemented before the
بنهايه
start
شهر
of
اكتوبر
rain
الحالي احنا
of
صرفنا
rain
1.4
season. We
مليار جنيه
spend about
وبدا
1.4
المواطن السكندري
million
في الاماكن اللي فعلا اتنفذت
pounds.
يشعر ان فعلا المشكله
And
بدات انها
even
تقل حدتها. ما زال في
the
اماكن اخرى طبعا
Alexandrian
بتعاني
people now
وبنتعامل
showing
معاها لكن بقى عندنا
feeling
خطه
the
بننفذها
reduction
النهارده
of
على قدم
or the
وساق
relief of the burden. We
وعندنا
have a
محدد ان احنا ما بنقدرش نشتغل
we
غير
have
في
a
الفتره اللي
plan
ما بيبقاش فيها
and we
نوات ومطر
we
علشان ما
cannot work
تحصلش
in the
عندنا
periods of
مشكله واحنا
rains in
بنحفر
order not to
وبنشتغل في هذه
cause
الاماكن.
a conflict
ولكن
or
ايضا
problem with that. And we
عندنا
also have
حمايه من اخطار السيول
a protection
واسكندريه
of
ايضا
floods,
دايما كانت معرضه لخطر
risks, and
الغرق ودايما
Alexandria
بيتقال
is
ان اسكندريه
threatened to
واحده من
drown.
المدن اللي
And
على
it
مستوى
also said
البحر
that
المتوسط اللي ممكن تغرق.
Alexandria is one of
والنهارده
the cities
الحمد
that
لله
might be
بمشروعات
drowned,
حمايه
thankfully, with the
الكورنيش اللي اتكلفت
protection
اكثر من 2
projects
مليار
outside
ولسه بتشتغل. النهارده
seasides
بنحمي اسكندريه من هذا الموضوع. تطوير
that
وتكريك
costed a
بحيره
lot. Now
مريوط
we're protecting.
وده توجيه من سياده الرئيس لكل
Developing
بحيرات
Mariot
مصر.
Lake.
النهارده بنشوف المنظر كان
Now
قبل
we see
عامل
before
ازاي
and after.
وبعد التطوير اللي بيحصل النهارده بقى
Before
شكل
and after
الميه تحت
developing,
بقى
you can
عامل ازاي.
see
ده
how the
شيء
water
مهم
looks.
جدا
This is
لحمايه
very
الثروه
important to
السمكيه
protect
ومضاعفتها واكل عيش
fish
للصيادين اللي
wealth
بيشتغلوا
and
والشكل الحضاري اللي كانت
the
للاسف هذه
breadwinning
البحيرات قبل كده
of
بيلقى عليها
fishermen.
مياه صرف زراعي
And
وصرف
as it
صحي
used to
احيانا.
be
وكل
an
التطوير
area
اللي لسه ما زال
for
قائم بيتعمل على
water
قدم
waste.
وساق لهذه البحيره
And we are
وايضا
still developing
بحيره
this
إدكو
lake and also
البحيره
Idco
في
Lake and
محافظه
Buhira.
البحيره. مفيش بحيره النهارده مش سايبينها ما بنشتغلش فيها
There is no
علشان
lake
نطور
that
هذا
we
الموضوع. قطاع البترول يا
are
فندم
leaving behind
يعني
without
كان في
developing.
حجم كبير جدا
Petroleum
من
sector
الاستثمارات
has great investment, about
377 مليار جنيه.
377 million
يعني تركيز
pounds.
على
We have a
تحويل
focus
وانشاء
on
محطات اللي
transferring
بتمون الغاز السيارات بالغاز الطبيعي. وصلنا 1.5
car
مليون
with
وحده بالغاز
natural
الطبيعي في خلال
gas.
هذه الفتره. ولكن الاستثمارات
We
المهمه في موضوع الغاز الطبيعي
implemented lots
بتبقى
on
موجوده
that.
الحقيقه في شمال
But
اسكندريه
the
وغرب
investment
الدلتا.
of
دي
that
من
is more
المشروعات
in
العملاقه اللي موجوده جوه محافظه اسكندريه.
some
في
parts of
مجال
Alexandria and
الكهرباء زي
Buhira and
كل حته في
electricity
مصر
as
استثمرنا
every place
36.6
in
مليار
Egypt.
جنيه
We
لطاقات جديده
invested
تم
about
اضافتها
36 million
ونجحنا فيها
pounds.
وتامين
We succeeded
واستقرار
in
التغذيه
that
على مستوى اسكندريه
at the levels
والبحيره.
of
ودي
Alexandria
نماذج
and
للمشروعات
Buhira. These are
العملاقه
models of
اللي
grand
الدوله
projects
المصريه عملتها.
that Egypt has
شبكات
made.
الطرق والمحاور
road
45
networks
مليار
and
الدولة المصرية
accesses.
أنفقتهم على هذه
45
المحاور.
billion
ويمكن
were
يعني
spent
اسكندرية
on
كان
this.
ليها
Actually, maybe
نصيب
Alexandria
كبير
has a
جدا
great
من هذه
share
المشروعات.
of that, of these
والحقيقة
projects.
يمكن هذه المشروعات
And maybe these
350
projects,
كيلو طرق منهم تنفيذ
350
جديد
kilos
مع
were
رفع كفاءة مع تطوير
newly
محطات
made
القطارات
with
اللي اتعملت مع
developing
كباري
with
اتنفذت
the
مع طبعا تطوير ميناء اسكندرية العملاق اللي إن شاء الله نشرف بافتتاح
with
سيادة
metro
الرئيس.
stations.
ده
as
شكل
well.
النهارده
So
شبكة الطرق اللي
this is
موجودة اللي
the
أصبحت
road
بتخدم محافظة
network that's
اسكندرية والبحيرة
serving
سواء
Buhira
طريق
and
وادي
Alexandria
النطرون
now,
العالمين
whether
بعد ما كان
valley,
الحقيقة 3 حارات و3 حارات زي ما حضراتكم شايفين
whether
النهارده
developing the
بقى
road of
النهارده 5
العالمين.
حارات
We now have
بالإضافة
5
ل3 حارات
lanes
خدمة من كل
instead of
اتجاه.
3.
نفق 45 لحل مشكلة مزمنة
45
كانت في مرور اسكندرية. ولكن أيضا
underground
تطوير المحطات
path
القطارات
and also
والكباري اللي بقت
developing
بتتعمل.
bridges
تطوير
and
محطة
metro
مصر
stations,
والميدان سوق محطة مصر اللي كان
station
يعني بقى
development
بيأوي
and
الباعة
the
الجائلين اللي
square
كانوا
and the
موجودين.
center
شكل
that
حضاري لكل
host
المناطق في هذا الكلام.
the
ولكن
seller,
أهم
the
مشروع
street
كان الحقيقة
sellers.
تنفذ في
The
اسكندرية
most
محطة
important
محور
project
المحمودية.
is
وهذا
Mahmoudiya
المشروع
access in
الحقيقة طبعا
Alexandria. This
كل
project, of
الاسكندرانية
course,
لمسوا
all
التأثير
Alexandrians
الإيجابي
see
الشديد جدا ليه
see
مع تنفيذه.
the positive
وده شيء
impact
مهم جدا ان
of
احنا
it.
لازم نبقى
So
واخدين
this is
بالنا
very important
ومقتنعين
to care
ان العديد من
to take
المشروعات
care and
حتى يمكن في وقت من
to be
الاوقات ممكن يبقى
convinced
فيه
that
بيثار
some
جدل
of the
عليها
projects that might be controversial, but after implementing that, they realized how much it was important. I do remember that this project it was very controversial and how it was implemented and the amount, but this project, with the admission of all Alexandrians, no one could imagine the amount of traffic in Alexandria, but what we can see in the small picture that this is Mahmoudiyya Canal and the axes are on that. Now this is the current picture. We don't need to justify and explain why did that. Now the project is, we are providing of 55 kilos from both sides, about 115 alongside the Bahira to serve all complexes. We have alongside that, but this project, the President Sisi inaugurated Abu Zikri or Ta'mir Axis 10 days ago. My Minister of Transport and I were checking it, and we met with some of the concerned people, leaders here. So they told us that it took that they used to take 1 or 1 hour and a half in the ride. Now they take about 20 minutes. So this is very important. That means as an Alexandrian, I'm convinced that if I have a housing project in Burj Al Arab, it's easy now to drive there instead of having 1 hour and a half. I can take 20 minutes, so I can move there. So now the idea of having new housing complexes are fulfilled. Now we don't want to talk about a lot about the new grand port, and Al-Maqsa port. That would be the greatest of ports and one of the biggest ports across the Mediterranean. And hopefully Tahya Masr Enclave station was implemented, and also upgrading Burj Al Arab airport that is due to complete by the end of this year to be the biggest project. The last project I'd like to conclude with is the Decent Valley project. Maybe President Sisi said a word today with our families there. This project is for real. If we haven't done anything with this project, so it's enough pride for us as a country to fulfill it, because Alexandria's and Bahira's share is 7 centers of 52 and 240 villages, and it serves more than 5 million people. The amount of upgrading in schools, as you see in pictures, health units, governmental complexes, youth centers, services, post offices, the solar energy, the water projects, local administrations for markets, fighting points, cushioning the lining, cushioning the land. And also through this project for the seasonal, from 250 to 350 were suffering, and we saved them by this project that we are continuing to the main roads implemented in areas from the micro projects among Hayat and President Sisi across through 1 year and a half we're having tours across Egypt to shed the light on the amount of development that Egypt has been establishing through the 8 years, and we will be honored to have you inauguration of more projects. The picture, the message from these pictures, we didn't leave any part of Egypt without development. We'll keep going to fulfill the aspirations of Egyptians.
السيد رئيس الوزراء
President, Mr. Prime Minister, video conference for inauguration will start now.
اتفضلوا.
Please go ahead. Com Hamada Specialized Hospital, go ahead. May God the most merciful, the most compassionate.
دكتور أحمد الفي مدير مستشفى كوم حمادة التخصصي. المستشفى
of
مقامة
the
على
hospital
مساحة 3100
based
متر
on
مربع
300
أرضي زائد 5 أدوار زائد
square
مبنى الخدمات
beside the
بإجمالي
service
مساحة
center
إنشائية
and 5
16,000
floors
متر مربع
of
بإجمالي تكلفة إنشائية وأنظمة
kilometers
312
square
مليون جنيه
of 112 million pounds of construction with the participation of Tahya Masr Fund of 458 pounds. The hospital has 225 with beds with ICU, 40 cirrhosis, kidney failure recycling, and also divisions, X-ray labs, therapy, physical therapy and teeth, then the early detection of colon tumors, newborn stop newborn infant death. Dr. Manal Sirdi, head of bone marrow implant. I'm Dr. Manal Sirdi, professor of the University of Alexandria. The marrow implant unit is 7 capsules and its attachments and separating cell unit and a lab to freeze cells. The unit was designed by specialized Egyptian company. It was all infrastructured in Germany. The yearly capacity is between 60 to 70 patients with all its kinds. The unit serves 4 countries, Alexandria, Matruh, Al-Bahira and Kafr al-Sheikh. We were treating marrow patients freely, whether by at state expense or health insurance, so that any additional cost for patient, and the unit follows all international standards for marrow implants and following the newest protocols for treatment. According to state policy and contribution in eliminating the waiting list, marrow implant unit in this hospital targets also to reduce waiting list for marrow implant patients. This is a great addition for all patients in Egypt. Dr. Manal, please. Yes, what is the cost of one case from the patient first entrance to the hospital until they treated? Currently, the cost might reach about 50,000 pounds for one case. Sorry, it's 150, not 250, as we have 2 types. We have self 150 for self-implant, and donor 1,000 for self-implant and 150,000 for donors. I ask that because through waiting lists, as you said, it's contributing that citizens suffering from such a thing, instead of being put on waiting lists for months or even years. But it's important while talking about hospitals and waiting lists and its role for 3 or 4 years that the city is working on, that in my estimate that it's not just contributing in treating patients, but also training doctors because of the increased amount of work, because waiting lists are difficult cases. And therefore, in 3 or 4 years, the amount of treated waiting lists are 2 million cases. That means that are saved. Not money, but for doctors to work intensively for 3 or 4 years with in critical cases in all fields. I ask about the number, not for anything but to but just to know the numbers. But thank you for your clarification and congratulations for the unit, Dr. Manel. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Engineer Abir Magid. Go ahead, please. Okay, Engineer Abir Magid, the Executive Officer of Alexandria Projects, the Urbanizing Center for Housing. I take care, pardon, to inaugurate the road of the sideline that is targeting to solve the traffic problem and to have 10 lanes in the road instead of 6 lanes, and save securing lives, people's lives, by having a cross bridge for walkers. And we have 3 lanes for entrance and 3 lanes for exiting, and the underground continues after the sideline, after the 3 lanes of entrance and 3 lanes of exiting, with 60 long meters and 6 feet height. The underground ends at the end of the sea with 2 bridges, 3 lanes entrance of 200 meters and 3 for exiting for 300 meters. And we also have another sideline, another road, in addition to expanding the road with having 2 pavements for walkers. Congratulations, congratulations. Thank you all for this presentation. President Sisi, we will have a small break and we'll have a discussion on opportunities and challenges. Allow me before the break, in the name of the most merciful, the most compassionate, again I congratulate Alexandria and Al-Bahira people and all those who contributed not to be here, but for all the projects we talked about in Al-Bahira and Alexandria from the state or civil society organizations. So what Mustafa Mudbuli said, there are other things that has not been said as well. I'd like to tell you a very important thing. So what we are tackling now, you can find that the numbers are not big, or the spend numbers are 800 or 900. No, the whole idea is that there are lots of projects that if it were made in totally new areas, it won't be as much it wouldn't be that cost or that expensive. So the rain network, if it was built in a new place, it would be very different, because we're trying to fix and repair and then build and then upgrade. So the new area always, as a state, we have a better opportunity in planning and building, and instead of repairing or working in already planned areas. We are not here to distribute, to cast blames but we are here to repair whatever we can do. Let's go back to Alexandria, not just road networks only. I'd like to talk as well on housing as one of the chronic problems or prolonged problems. About as was said, 300 or 400,000 units are not able to be repaired. If we're talking about these numbers, we're talking about the cost of these units. We are talking in about one project. If we would like to have an alternative housing for them, we are talking about at least a lot number, depends on how much the unit is. So if the total would be $150 billion, a billion pounds. So if you're saying that this is irreplaceable, so we need to build a new place, and we will. And then ruin it because it's invalid to live. Dr. Mustafa shed the light for two projects for all citizens. One of them is Bashar al-Khair and Sawari and others, and Masharif. I'd like to say for us and for the country, Masharif is based on on a watery lands, and instead of building inside Alexandria, if we haven't made or built what we are building now, as we continued 500 fadans, and we are reconstruction 1,000 fadans in Al-Amiriya, and we are connecting a road. We are making a road for connection with the desert or the land road. So we are talking about electricity minister about that. He tells us that we need 3 or 4 billion pounds for that. So the utility ministry will tell me that I need $3 or $4 billion to access utility in this area. So why am I saying that then? I'm saying this because many of us saying and complaining about food is expensive. Yes, that's true. But building country and treating a long history is greater, is more expensive. Let's stop here and show the people how it looked like, and people were satisfied. And weren't talking. So let's keep it like that, and don't be sad of what I'm saying. So let's keep it like that and eat, or removing it and upgrade it like it is now, and have a better difficult situation. Leave the people on streets without eating, or removing people from street and giving them alternative housing, and have a little bit of expensive living cost. So I'll tell you something, the first 20 kilos of Mahmoudiyya access, people were complaining on social media and newspaper that they are destroying mosques. We will rebuild the mosques and the churches, but in a right way. So you're destroying what is there and rebuilding it? Yes, to reach what we have now in this access. We've been 3 years or 2 years and a half working on 55 kilos of extending Mahmoudiyya access to reach al-Bahira, to ride from Alexandria to al-Bahira by a new access. So they're saying that the country loves roads, so it's not about loving roads. You don't know how does it mean, does a country mean? The country is something different totally. the state is developing, is planning by doctors, professors, and specialists and experts, and putting suggestion. If if the state is able to do that, would be good. If not, so it's just like a suggestion. So you're doing this, we're living with us. I'm talking to Major General Hisham Amna and Alexandrian people. So in order to remove people from Mahmoudi access, I need 80 million pounds. That was 3 years ago. So we removed all the trespasses. But in front of the trespasses, there was something called social compensation. So we didn't tell to the trespass that this is not their land, because we cannot leave people like that. So we compensated them somehow, because we have been building 55 kilos in 3 years. So if the 55 kilos now in any desert land, it will take 6 months only. We started with Alexandria, the road from 4 or 5 months ago, and hopefully will be inaugurated before Eid al-Adha. So the access from Cairo to Alexandria going, it's 170 and 120 return kilos. So why I'm saying that? Maybe someone would say, what do I mean? I mean that building countries, states, and repairing them are not easy. It's not easy. And as a human, from you, I'm honest with you, and I take care of you. I'm honest with you, and I take care of you. And who's going to hold me accountable for this is God. By the way, your people holding accountable is very easy, but God's holding us accountable is not that, as He witnesses everything. So we're talking about Abu Qir port, because we are talking about more than 10 kilo pavements that with largest deep that is not that doesn't exist except for Spain. And you as Alexandrians, by the way, there are 7 million meter as buildings inside the sea. So we have side sea inside the sea about 8 kilos long. So it means half of Alexandria Corniche or seaside. So why are we saying, but not yet? Not because of giving you hopes and happiness, no, but because this is a work that we have to do. And by the way, the amount of work needed in Egypt is a lot. It's a lot. I swear to God, the amount of required work in Egypt needs working day and night for tens of years without boring or tiredness, or without Dr. Maid saying that there is no money. This isn't that, Dr. Maid. I'd like to assure you that we are going on well, and maybe one of the youth in the conference in Al-Bahira, in Al-Abadiya village, asked me to reassure him of youth. I told him that he's called Muhammad. I told him that we're saying that there is 2.2 million or 2.5 million fadans we want to plant by the end of the next year maximum. By the end of next year maximum, 2 to 2.2 million faddans as an extension of Buhira. 2 million faddans as, so it's one time the size of Buhira and even more better. So may God support us all. Please listen to me. No, no, no. People used to it, but let's concentrate here. I would like to say that don't you ever think that no one would move and think and repair for people, as I'd like to tell you a very strange thing, and he will be let down. No one will do this and will be let down. So if one is like patting someone's head, God give him like God reward him. If someone is removing like a strip from the street, God reward him. So what about a person who's trying to repair his country?